our national language, is our recognition. Urdu is our recognition.
Language has never been the reason for division of the countries, and it will never be.
United we stand, divide we fall.
Where are you from? If we say Pakistan, they'll say, where in Pakistan? I turn around and say, excuse me, in Pakistan. I am from Pakistan. No, they say, wait, where in Pakistan? Why is anybody interested in asking where in Pakistan?
Provincialism, I suppose, is demarcating regions within a country.
The big question is, what is the nation doing?
Welcome back from the break, everyone. And Arif tells us the elite are the exploiters of our country.
Yeah.
Why?
You know why? Elite, you are an elite person, elitist, I am an elitist. As far as our upbringing are concerned, as far as our circumstances are concerned, maybe in behavior, we may not be elitist. The elite are educated. The elite, the taxation systems and the laws of Pakistan favor the elite. Our children get educated, our people get the jobs. You see, and if you're not educated, you don't have anything. The elite have become hoarders of wealth also. They have not looked beyond themselves. We produce and we hoard wealth for generations to come, and we accumulate them. Elitist, I believe the elitists are not only exploiters, but they to an extent it is almost criminal when you have not taken care of your masses. And for 60 years, what is the level of education in Pakistan? What is the level of literacy in Pakistan? What is the disparity of incomes in Pakistan? The people are compromising their lives because of hunger and starvation and joblessness and inflation. And there are people who are living in luxury. There are people who cannot get a chit, do not have the money to get a chit to get treatment in civil hospital in Karachi. And there are people who send their children on every sneeze for treatment abroad. So there is a big disparity, and these are the people whose children are well educated, who look beyond Pakistan, who some of them do not even have any stake in this country.
And how
so the elitists have brought the people down.
What do you mean by stake? Let's go back a bit. What do you mean by stake?
By stake, what I mean is that their investments, the ability to get to be able to work in the country, to be able to expand. Only the elite make money. And everybody, the effect of a GDP, 1% GDP raise, for example, in Pakistan economy, 90% of that benefit goes to the elite 5%. And 10% of that benefit in GDP goes to the rest of the 90% of Pakistan. So there is no stake of people. Therefore, if you look at the minibuses in Karachi or in Lahore, where people are sitting on the roofs, if I would be part of that minibus, I would have no qualms about throwing a stone at every Mercedes which passes by. Even Amina and even Amina sitting in that, I'll maybe a little confused because a woman is there. You see, that is what is happening. So if people have no stake, there will be more violence.
Is there going to be a revolution?
It looks like that. It appears so. Now look at what has happened, the major changes in Pakistan. Now what has happened over the last 1 or 2 years? Number one is for the restoration of the judiciary, people came on the streets. During this load shedding and water problem, etc., people came on the streets, they started burning cars. And it looked like burning Karachi. A frustrated lower class of Pakistan will rise up one day and will totally challenge the elitist culture. They go after your houses, after your luxuries, and after whatever wealth you have. And they will not. I will not blame them too much, because you've deprived them for so long. You've made them mutes. They're sitting on these buses, 50 on top of every bus, and they do not challenge the system. So I'm surprised. But one day they will come up, and the time is coming closer. So therefore, I'm afraid of revolutions also. Why am I afraid of revolution? Because I don't know where it will end. If we are dependent on foreign forces, if we are dependent on the Citibank budget, the 10th Citibank budget in Pakistan, the 10th Citibank budget, the IMF constrictions, IMF doesn't give you money, it will make sure that the money is returned. It doesn't care what you do in your house.
No, it's an institution.
What you do in your house, you starve people, it doesn't care, it wants its money back. A lot of people feel that what happened in China is a good policy, they changed to capitalism, therefore they succeeded. What happened in China, which people don't read and books have not been written yet, is that everything belongs to the state. And all of a sudden, the state started saying the house you live in is yours, the land you plow is yours. All of a sudden, people had stake in society. So you have billions of people all of a sudden having stake in society. What happens in Pakistan? This land is there. We make a defense society of that. We will allot it to these people. We don't care about Kachi Abad. these, they can develop, they can make their own roads, they can have an open drainage, they have no education, and as soon as that land will become valuable, we will throw these people out because you're illegal settlers in that land is no kachi abadi, you're out. Now this has to be made into a plaza or a society or anything. That's how, but this is what you are doing to your poor group. They have no stake in society.
The stakeholders in Pakistan, your views on that?
We talked about the fact that the only stakeholder in Pakistan are the elite. And they pack up their bags and they look for immigration abroad. And I feel pity. I feel pity because sometimes they're scared about the situation around their security, etc. But I also believe if they have no stake in the country really, then what are they doing here? And then they become policy makers. You have some Qureshi coming abroad, coming from abroad, and you have the Shaukat Aziz coming from abroad and going back to whichever country he wants to. Short-term people, how can they have a stake in this country? The stake in this country is of the people who stay here, who decide to stay here, who have no boats like Tariq bin Ziyad, and when no boats outside the country. Number one. Number two, I believe that all change in society throughout history has come from the elite in the leadership. That's understandable because the elite, whether it was Karl Marx, whether it was religious change, even Islam came from the Quraysh, was the elite of the Arab culture. So the change will come through the elite, but either they're squeezed in, either they're threatened, which will bring about the change. But I would like to encourage, what the elite have done is one tremendous change which has happened, and which was the restoration of the judiciary. The civil society, which was the elite society, which was the elite, which worked, youngsters worked,
Everybody worked.
Now, what happened in Swat, the youngsters helped and the civil society is trying to help. What happened in the earthquake, the civil society became functional. I expect civil society to play a bigger role in reforming Pakistan and bringing Pakistan back on its track. And it's the responsibility of people like you. It's the responsibility, really, it's the responsibility of this show, it's the responsibility of television to be able to handle that and to be able to encourage, to inform people, to make sure that we do not only hoard wealth, we do something for this country. If we don't do it, who will? You see, and when there are questions raised that Pakistan will exist or Pakistan will not exist, it's the crisis of leadership at the highest, as well as the crisis of the elite, which is not taking proper role. What you will learn throughout your life, I believe, a corrupt person, a corrupt politician, how frustrated can you get on this? Open, have information or whatever. You see, now if you don't educate people, what happens is then you have to create jobs at that level. To create jobs at that level, you'll have to have a dam, a huge highway, exactly at that level, a mazdoor, an illiterate level. Now, if you educate them, you don't have to create jobs at that level. They will find their own jobs. So I wish we could challenge somebody, and it takes only 6 or 7 years to lift that.
We are running out of time, but your passion, as always, is overwhelming. We have come to the end of the show, but thank you very much for staying with us. Provincialism, the lack thereof, divisive, democracy, dictatorship. Where's Pakistan going? You have a stake in this country. I have a stake in this country. Arif has a stake in this country. Don't forget to email us your views on today's show. I'm Amina at TheFirstBlast at onnews.tv. The FBN team will be back again tomorrow.